huge crowd journeyed to Shelbourne Park on Saturday night for the biggest night in world greyhound racing, the final of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. €125,000 on the line, a red-hot favourite, Bockos Diamond, racing the striped jackets, the shortest price favourite of all time. Could he come out on top? Well, let's find out. Let's join the runners on parade.
The runners on parade for the final of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. Leading the way is the juvenile Derby champion Callaway Kinnegair for Owen McKenna and the Field Sports Syndicate down in Brosna. They've brought a fleet of supporters with them tonight. The son of Druppy Sydney and Druppy Sweet would certainly be a popular winner. So too with Sing Along Dolly. Pat Buckley's already had a great night. 2 winners here tonight. Gilbert Anderson, her owner's already had a winner as well. She's a brilliant daughter, Druppy Sydney and Mydra's Dawn. A classic winner, having won the Cesaro Itch. She's real strength, real power, and certainly better than a 33-1 quote would suggest. 3 is Cheap Sandwiches, the kennel companion to the favourite, but this fellow himself is a serious Derby contender, owned by the wonderfully named Bark Wahlberg Syndicate, trained by Graham Holland, who's bidding to claim a 4th Derby success. A son of Burgess Books and Harthill Josie, he can go up fast. In 4 is a Lucky Julie, owned and trained by the legend that is Jerry Mealy, a Hall of Fame trainer. Jerry, this daughter of Ballymacbulger and Julie's Paradise, has already dead heated in the Oaks earlier in the year. She's a class act. Again, she's all about power. In 5, BoyleSports Bob for John Boyle, and for proud Wexford man Ned Murphy. We saw a Wexford winner in the plate final. Well, maybe BoyleSports Bob can do it in the feature. Trained by Paul Hennessy, seeking his 2nd Derby success. This powerful son of good news, and Rowana Best, a big player. And out in 6, we have Bockos Diamond. What a superstar this fellow has been. He broke the track record in the 3rd round, equaled his track record in the semi-final. He's the hottest Derby favourite in many, many years. Indeed, going back to Spanish Battleship in 1954, trained by Graham Holland for the Remember Them Syndicate, a special greyhound and a worthy favourite. The runners in traps for the final of the 2024 BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. And there is the bell. The runners in 1. Callaway Kinnegair, 2 Sing Along Dolly, 3 Cheap Sandwiches, 4 a Lucky Julie, 5 BoyleSports Bob, and 6 is the favourite, Bockos Diamond. The hare coming up behind traps. Off they go, and a good start by Bockos Diamond on the outside. Cheap Sandwiches 1 and 2 for the Graham Holland kennel, and it's out front. Bockos Diamond clears the bend. Cheap Sandwiches in 2nd now. Callaway Kinnegair on the inside in 3rd, but Bockos Diamond is on by 3, 4 lengths. Cheap Sandwiches in 2nd. Callaway Kinnegair in 3rd. It's 16.85, not as fast as normally, but up front it's still Bockos Diamond. 3 Cheap Sandwiches giving us all. Callaway Kinnegair and 2 Sing Along Dolly, but Bockos Diamond is the greatest ever. He's won the Derby. 2nd is 3 Cheap Sandwiches, a 1-2 for Graham Holland, who has now made it 4 wins in the Derby. He joins Tom Lynch and Gay McKenna. Bockos Diamond has made it 15 wins in a row.
He's brilliant. Thankfully he got over the line, you know. You never know in the final, but thankfully he done it. He deserved that, you know.
What was it like this week? Everybody expected the dog to win, but it doesn't always work out that way.
No, it doesn't. Like, there's 6 dogs in it, 6 good dogs. You never know what's going to happen, but the week went well. We had a good week with the pair of them. As it showed there, they both ran their hearts out, so look, we're delighted to win it.
And the kennel's 4th Greyhound Derby, that's also a record. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's something you dream of when you grow up. When I was small, just getting a runner in Shelbourne Park is the aim, but look, we're delighted. It's been brilliant.
Ran brilliantly, didn't they? Showed his customary early pace and out and gone, catch him as you can. 15 on the bounce, what can you say?
Is he the best greyhound we've ever seen? You've owned some great greyhounds over the years. Is Bockos Diamond one of the best we've ever seen?
I think so, by far the best one we've ever had. I've never seen anything like it. For a dog to win 15 on the bounce over 4 bends in competitions against all the best dogs, it's unbelievable.
And that's it, it's open class, consistent. He's beat them all.
Yeah, he's beat them all. English Derby, here we come.
And what about Night of the Stars?
Yeah, that's the plan. I think that's where we want to go. That's what we've all said. Graham will make the final decision, but I think it's Night of Stars and then English Derby.
And he is almost like the Frankel of greyhound racing now, Graham. Like, people who never watched greyhound racing before are coming out to watch this dog.
Yeah, he's so consistent, isn't he? Traps open, bang, gone.
Oh, he's a fantastic dog. He's the best dog we've seen in a long time. And it would have been a shame if he hadn't have won it. So it's just over the moon. Everything went well. Obviously the weather's turned a bit, but it's fantastic. And thank you, BoyleSports, for all their support over the years.
Tell us about the background. You have a wonderful
effort. Everybody plays their part, and from my wife to my son to everybody who works there, I thank them very much.
Well, we're not long after racing here at Shelbourne Park, and the rain is really starting to come down heavy. It's starting to come down about 10 minutes before the Derby final, but it certainly didn't put off Bockos Diamond. I said in commentary, Kevin, that he is the greatest ever. Well, it's hard to argue with the facts. He's won 15 in a row, he's broken the track record, he's equalled the track record, and tonight he took a step right at boxes, and it took him a stride or two to get going again. But I'll tell you something, he showed great pace, great determination to that opening corner, and we are talking about a truly special greyhound that won what was a truly special BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby.
It was. I think it was the best derby that I can remember, certainly the best derby since BoyleSports took it over, and we've been previewing and reviewing these, and I suppose I've had to take a closer eye on every heat because we do these clips rather than before. I was just worried about my own dogs in it, but like I said to you at the time when we done Loggle Blake, I thought he was just an incredible derby winner, and we've had the likes of Good News and Ballymac and all the great dogs that have won derbies, but there's just an aura about this lad. You know, what he does to good early pacers, it's freakish. You made a comment on one of these that he'd do 20-50 in Dundalk, and the scary thing is he probably would, and he'd probably break it. And then when you put together that the wet, the wind, all those conditions, and he had the likes of Callaway Kennagear turned within 5 lengths, probably having 4 or 5 lengths at the second bend, and you're like, well, if he's ever not going to stay, tonight's tonight. And he stuck it out, and his will to win is phenomenal. His head is down, he's going to the line. I met Graham and Nicky and the crew after the final, shook their hands, congratulated him and said he is the best ever. And in my opinion, I know I'm not around as long as loads of other people, and
Glad you didn't say me.
Well, you in particular, but there's plenty of people that have seen wonderful greyhounds, and I can't speak for them dogs, but in my lifetime he's the best I've ever seen. It's just his all-round speed, and I was speaking to one of the connections and they thought like off the third bend and off the line that he could get picked up, and I just said he takes the legs off the stairs, he burns them to the third bend, and that's what it is. That's what makes him so special, that even when the stairs turn in a position at the second bend, they're using up their finishing kick to try and close on him into the third bend, and you just can't when he's doing the runs he's doing. And I know that time tonight doesn't matter, it's not as quick as he's gone before, but he's just a wonderfully talented greyhound. And I shook hands with Graham, and Graham said to me that, you know, he's an easy job, he only has to point him in the right direction, and very philosophical like my father and all, and the trainers are always quick enough to play their input down, but it cannot be underestimated. You know, the pressure was really on. He's come into the Derby anti-post favourite, he's carried that tag the whole way throughout, he's broke the clock, equalled it again, and he's had to back it up when the pressure got bigger and bigger and bigger. And when you're 1-3 or whatever in a final of a derby, you know, like, you can only win by winning it, because second just simply isn't good enough, and it's seen as a disappointment. And he made no mistake tonight, and a credit to all the connections, a credit to the dog, and a wonderful 2024 BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby winner.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it there. He was sent off the 130 on favourite, okay. Shortest priced favourite of all time. He duly obliges, as we've said, 15 in a row. And yet, you look back at it and you think to yourself, yes, he was. You described Law Hill Blake. I described him at the time as one of the most, perhaps the most dominant Derby winner I'd ever seen. In more recent times, we had Susie Sapphire, who never saw a rival in 6 rounds. She flashed out, did it all the way. But this fellow was different. It was the manner in which he was dispatching his rivals. Like, there were nights where dogs trapped with him or alongside him, and he just ragged them. And that was again a similar story this evening. He didn't go obviously as fast as he possibly can because the conditions just won't allow it. And the thing is, when people are watching the video, they won't realise how breezy and how wet and how windy it was. Just really wasn't conducive to doing fast times, and that bore fruit through the evening. As it was, actually got a little bit quicker at the end of the evening, but Bockos Diamond will be long remembered as a truly spectacular Derby winner. But looking behind him, Cheap Sandwiches ran his absolute heart out. Like, the Bark Wahlberg Syndicate would have got some thrill. Graham Holland 1-2 in the final. Just behind them, Callaway Kennagear. And it has to be pointed out that Owen McKenna trained an aforementioned Susie Sapphire, and she flashed from the inside. Every night she was drawn in one, she popped out and did everything that needed to be done. Callaway Kennagear was wearing the same red jacket tonight, and he was the first dog to hit the ground. He was the fastest dog into stride, and when you consider on the night that you need him to get out of traps, he got that out of him. That's some training achievement. Sing Along Dolly is just behind him in 4th. BoyleSports Bob is just behind him in 5th. Like, Lucky Julie straight into BoyleSports Bob at Trap Rise. They clashed before Cheap Sandwiches got a chance to move into them. And they sort of did each other no favours. And yet, the first 5 home are probably covered by, I haven't even looked at the result, to be honest. It's been so busy. It's about 3 or 4 lengths between the first 5 home. It was just a remarkable derby from start to finish. And yes, the right dog won it. But I think every dog deserves credit in this final. I thought they all ran their heart out.
Well, look, you sort of laughed at me up in the box last week when you asked me to price it, and I priced them at 1 to 2, and it wasn't me knocking Bockos Diamond. I couldn't. I've run out of superlatives for him. Like, I'm his biggest fan. He's an amazing greyhound, and like I said, he's the best I've ever seen. But this was the best Derby field I've ever seen assembled. And the reason I had him at odds, like even at 1 to 2, I thought it was nearly short when you compare the dogs he was in with. And it look, a lot of the race went the way I thought it would. I knew he was never going to win this final by 6-7 lengths, no matter how good he was. Like, this is genuinely the greatest Derby field I've ever seen put together, from inside all the way out. Like, you're looking at it there, a Lucky Julie going off at probably the outside of the field and finishing last.
She actually went off 4th favourite at 20 to 1.
Oh, sorry, okay.
BoyleSports Bob is returned 22 to 1. He'll never be again. Like, he's scarcely 2 to 1 in any of his races. And then the outsider of the party was Sing Along Dolly at 25 to 1. So, like, Sing Along Dolly is a classic winner. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. And look, the race went a lot like I thought it would. Look, I suppose putting on the black and amber racing hat, I genuinely feel that BoyleSports Bob probably ran the greatest race of his life tonight. Like, he's finished 5th. I think he's finished 5th anyway. He's finished 5th, and I think he's ran the best race of his entire life, bar none. Like you said, a Lucky Julie has stepped out into him. I thought he trapped reasonably well, and next thing within the blink of an eye, he's 2 lengths last on his own. I thought he got stuck in quicksand. It wasn't until I watched the replay back and I saw him getting bumped, and he's bore down Callaway Kennegair to be. He's probably beaten, like you said, less than 3 or 4 lengths.
I think he's in front by the escape.
And he is. He's a length clear, nearly going by the second winning line. So I genuinely feel that BoyleSports Bob ran the best race of his entire life tonight, and he's finished 5th in this final. That's how good this race was. And Bockos Diamond, I know people might say the time or the distance. Like, I'm telling you, this is an incredible field, and that was where I was coming with the 1 to 2 thing. And even I heard, you talking about during the week and saying, he'll be shorter, and
still won.
He's still
at
won
130 on
100%. and he was the most likely winner, but like, he's won a length. Like at 3 to 10. You can understand where I was saying that I thought the other dogs were overpriced. But look, take nothing away from touching in on the others. Like, Cheap Sandwiches, again, if he's probably another half a length up on his inside, he might be able to hold him into the corner. But as soon as Bockos cleared him, like, he's battled away, like, head down the whole way. And even I heard, I think Harry Finley saying during the week, the early pacers never hang on for second. He did in tough conditions, and with Callaway Kennegair turning right on his rear end into the back straight, that'll tell you how well he's running. Like you said, Owen, to get him out of the boxes. I had a feeling during the week that was going to happen. He trapped really well during the Puppy Derby. He's had it in his arsenal. He was always capable of doing it. Sing Along Dolly just couldn't get across Callaway into the corner, but she stuck at it gallantly. Like I said about Bob, I think he's run his absolute heart out. And Lucky Julie, by stepping into Bob, her race was run very early on, but an amazing training feat from Jerry to qualify. Like I said, I think it's the best Derby final I've ever seen assembled. I think every one of the 6 dogs will look back on this as an achievement, making the final, and Bockos Diamond going to win it. Best I've ever seen.
Special night in total. I was walking down. I actually got the Lewis to the canal with the rugby match on tonight. I said I'd stay away from the taxis and walk down the canal, and it's dark coming to Shelbourne Park and Derby final night. And, it is different. It's very different later in the year. Even just there after racing, I went into the Lewis, and there's 2 poinsettias there. Like, we are into the Christmas period here. There's Christmas trees up. The atmosphere underneath already. And last race is only over half an hour, 20 minutes. And the atmosphere under there is unbelievable. There's electronic saxophonist standing up there playing Free From Desire. And the crowd is hopping. It's like, this new Shelbourne Park is going to work, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's amazing. And what the whole team have done. And I suppose we've done this for 11 years. I don't think I've ever taken an opportunity to thank the likes of Dawn, Orla, Dara. I'm not going to get into naming everyone because I'll miss out on a hate, but it's an incredible effort, team effort. Sharon, our own BoyleSports Sharon, like the effort that goes in to behind the scenes to making sure the signage is right, to making sure the food, the drink, the atmosphere, the entertainment, everything. It's just an amazing. And then to get to show it off, we can hear the chants. Now, you're just itching to get me to stop talking, to go inside and get a pint, but it really is like, and there's a gentleman here with us that actually owns JT Craze, happened to win tonight, Lee Craze, and Lee's been to all the horse racing events and all the events across the world probably at this stage, and like he said it himself, like you could bring customers, clients to this place and show it off because it's that good. And if you were unfortunate enough not to be over here for this Derby, I know the Winter Festival close to your heart is only 2 weeks away. I've got a funny feeling I might know about one dog in the Derby final that might be making an appearance, but
over 600 yards.
Yeah,
I spoke to Ned Murphy afterwards, and he said, "I think I've convinced Paul."
Well, see, Ned got that from me because I bounced the idea some time ago. Dad was never really keen on the idea, and Ned came to me, you'll twist his arm and get him thrown. So look, I'd say provided the weather stays okay, I think he'll line up. So, but look, I'm sure there'll be plenty more of them. It'll be an amazing night, and you'll get to see all these great greyhounds going into battle again. And like, look, we've got a stadium to show off, an atmosphere to be proud of, and dogs at the moment that you could just unbelievable. Like even the Constellation tonight was up in the box, and I said when I went looking at like English Derby winner and 2 short grip pups, best pitch of the year, and 3 Bombay Pat, so unlucky lad. He done 29.35 last week, could have done 29 seconds. Carrigaldo, yeah. And John Boyle, just to mention Carrigaldo, just for whatever it's worth, John said to me, I really hope Carrigaldo wins this. And I says, yeah, why? He said, I think he's, other than the Bockos dog and Bob obviously, he's been the dog I've enjoyed the most in the Derby. So like we've just got an unbelievable array of talent of dogs around at the moment, and look, long may it continue.
Have to mention Miles Robin with Elite Josh, a Wexford winner of the Michael Fortune Memorial Derby Plate. I'm sure the old fella would have been grinning down at that one.
Yeah, no, and I tell you, I never give you credit, and probably rightfully so, but I want to give you credit the way you spoke past the winning line there. I know it must have been emotional for you, but the words you were incredible. And like you said, for those that don't know, Miles obviously lost his dad earlier in the year, and we all know Miles. We had a dog from earlier in the year, just didn't work out, things didn't work out with injuries and stuff. A nicer man you couldn't have met, and what's been an awful tough year on him. I thought, I didn't realise it at the time it was the Michael Fortune Memorial Plate he won, but talk about fitting winners. I said it to Vivian upstairs, John Boyle's friend, like this is what greyhound racing can do. Just the right dog on the right night won the right race, and I thought your words were unbelievable actually.
Yeah, thanks Kevin. Anyway, a tremendous derby to reflect on. We have a superb winner, a dog that is, well, second to none it seems. Graham Box was interviewed straight after the race and said he'd leave it to Graham, but he strongly hinted he'd like to bring him to Winter Racing Festival and then to Toaster. I don't think I'd like to be opposing him in Toaster.
No.
Or in the Winter Racing Festival.
No, nowhere. But sure, but that's the enjoyment in it. Like we have to go and find one. Like, and look, every time one of them comes along, like you always think it, but there will be something. We've Droopy's Catley, you know what I mean already. So look, they'll be there to come and battle him, and they're going to have to be a fair dog now to try and take his crown. But let's enjoy him as well, and I think that's the most important thing. Like we always sometimes can be quick to knock these superstars, and make no mistake about it, he's our Frankel. Like he is notching up wins at the highest level that's unprecedented at this level over 4 bends. Let's enjoy him for what he is. Again, I extend my most hearty congratulations to everybody connected to, from Rachel Wheeler, who bred him and reared him and started him off, to Graham Bock, to all of the owners, and to Graham Holland, and what a wonderful training performance. Anyone connected to him, he's been a joy to speak about, and we look forward to possibly seeing him here again this time 12 months.
Absolutely. Well, that's it. The end of the 2024 BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. It will live long in the memory. So too will the many wonderful displays of Bockos Diamond through the competition. A track record in the 3rd round, he equalled it in the semi-final, and tonight, in the toughest of conditions, he did what champions do. He found a way. And that's all you can do on the biggest stage in World Greyhound Racing. To Bockos Diamond, we will be raising a glass very shortly indeed. But that's it, the end of the 2024 BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. It's been pretty emotional. We look forward to another renewal in 2025.